Alright, what is going on YouTube? This is your boy PXG Cash Howard coming at you with week 7 of the Pokemon Forever Association League battles. This week we're fighting my good friend in Uber Gooby. So the first thing I should probably mention is the fact that between last week and this week, regulation was added by the league where the Megas were going to be considered their own tier as opposed to a Pokemon already in a set tier as we originally first drafted. So, as we all know, Verawang, my Gardevoir, is an OU poke, so I was allowed to pick up something in the OU able tier. As by the time, we also went in order by worst records to better records, so I was pretty much towards the bottom half of picks. So by the time I got there, it wasn't really much of a selection, but do join me in welcoming Volcarona to the squad. More ironically, I quickly put to work this week as I do needed a fire type. We know we have a Heatran. The only issue with Heatran is the fact that if you look currently to the right side, almost all of those pokes on that side actually beat out Heatran pretty easily. So needing him for his fire to beat Caesar, who's 4 times weak to fire, would put myself at a hindrance because everything else on Uber's team can beat out Heatran easily. So having Volcarona is a welcome addition. Of course, joining him, the usual suspects: Black Kyurem, Gastro, Verawang, the Gardevoir, Umbreon, and Miltherd, the Tauros. Uber brings along with him his Mega Caesar, who, as like I said before, I need a fire type to beat. And ironically, almost everyone in the league usually brings like fire on everything just to stop that one poke. He brings along Mew, who was his free pickup in the same situation, bringing Donphan, who's a rapid spinner. For the second week in a row, I'm not bringing hazards as I didn't bring Heatran, as I feel they wouldn't be as needed for his team, nor do I actually need them out. His Ttars, regular Kyurem, and Virizion. So it'll be an interesting fight. I will warn you guys, starting now, that this match lasted longer than it really should have, by no fault of my own, so just throwing that out there. So let's see what happens. Week 6 of the Pokemon Forever Association League battles, the Puerto Rican Panchams versus the week 7, the Puerto Rican Pancham versus the Transylvania Ttars. So, Donphan versus Volcarona. Well, Donphan versus Volcarona versus Caesar. He recalled, I go for the Quiver Dance to the free setup. I go for the Giga Drain. I know it won't kill because he has Sturdy. And he really shouldn't be able to kill me in one hit, so I know I should be fine. He goes for the Earthquake. And it was a crit. So, oh god. I recover some HP with the leftovers. He goes for the Ice Shard, which shouldn't be enough to kill me, as I do resist ice. Go for the Giga again. Not gonna be much for me to absorb with just 1 HP remaining. And Von Don, the Donphan, goes down. He's setting us up for a 6v5 currently right now. So even with the leftover recovery, it still won't be enough. Ironically, this thing can actually outspeed me because it would have access to... it would be having Bullet Punch as a stab move to go with his ability of Technician. And there it is! So he hits me with the Bullet Punch. While I do resist it, was enough to kill me, but for touching me, he now triggers my Flame Body. And I die, while at the same time having his physical attack. I go into my Gastrodon, because I know Gastrodon should be able to take any hits from Caesar pretty well. He goes for Swords Dance probably to negate the burn effects. And I go straight into Stockpile because while he has to work to get himself out of the negative zone, I can quickly start increasing my defenses. So he goes for a second Swords Dance. Usually be +4. I believe he's probably at a +2 maybe. I go for Scald because I know Steel doesn't resist it, so we get him at about a little bit less than half health. He goes for the Roost to try to preserve his Caesar. I continue to Scald again, because as I said before, whatever I can do to actually kill this thing, the better. So he quickly withdraws his Caesar. He goes into Red Rose, the Virizion. This is one poke. I don't really want to fight. So, even though I did stockpile and I am at +2, I don't want to take a hit from this thing anyway. So I withdraw and go into Verawang, the Gardevoir. Trace is justified, which I know he's not going to hit me with one of those moves anyway. Goes for the Energy Ball. I should be able to take it fairly well. Oh, Life Orb, that's why. I immediately Mega Evolve. But I do believe it is faster than me. If it does hit me, it probably is going to kill me as the Mega Stats have not started off yet, so Verawang goes down without killing anything. So we're going to mill the third. Intimidate lowers down his physical attack, which I think this is a specially attacking poke anyway. So I go straight for the Zen Headbutt. Almost killing it. He goes for the Focus Blast, he does miss. Then I go for one more Zen Headbutt. And Red Rose, the Virizion, goes down. Mill the third coming in clutch with the Zen Headbutts. So at this point I don't know if this is a physical or a special Kyurem. I know he usually runs a special. So my guess was he was probably going to use an ice move. So I go into Black Kyurem, and at this point I remembered, since I don't have Verawang alive, what's really stopping him from spamming Draco Meteor. But I also did find out at the same moment, because a lot of people say what's the point of doing that, I did something very bad. My Kyurem only had 2 moves at the time. None of them would have helped anyway. So I go back into mill the third, use the Intimidate just in case it is a mixed attacker, and I go for Rock Slide, as I know Kyurem does not like rocks. We do get the flinch, so we go for the Rock Slide again. Almost killing Kyurem. He drops the Draco again. He did live it. He does drop his special attack even worse now. You go for a third Rock Slide, and that should be enough to kill Kyurem. And Mill the Third has killed 2 legends in this battle. So he goes into Crimson. The Caesar, I know for a fact he's probably going to Bullet Punch, so I recall. Mill the Third. I go into Umbreon. And there it is, the Bullet Punch. Not going to do much to Umbreon. As with the Burn. He does, HP goes down low, he's probably going to Roost again, and there it is. I go for Payback. Doesn't really do much. But I do recover myself close to full HP again. He himself is slowly dropping down lower in health because of the burn. I recall my Umbreon and I go into Gastrodon. Just in case he was going to go for a bug move. So he goes for the Swords Dance again, try to bring him back up from a negative state in his attack, and he goes for Roost immediately. So, once again, begin scalding it. He's now burned. Well, he's still burned, I mean, he's still taking damage from burn. He goes for Swords Dance again. bring himself up to +4, I believe. So now once again I go for stockpile to raise up my physical defenses and special defenses. As you saw, his attacks are not really doing much to me anyway. He goes for Rooster again. So if you guys haven't noticed, this is like literally what's gonna keep happening for a while. Go for the Scald again. Still not enough to kill. He goes for the Swords End. I think at this point he's at +6. If they each go by a +2 mechanic. I go for the stockpile. Now he's at +2 on both. He goes for the Roost one more time, making sure that his health is high enough. So at this point now I'm at max stockpile, so I'm at +3 on both defenses. He, on the other hand, still slowly taking damage from her. He goes for the Bullet Punch. Doesn't do anything to Gastrodon. Go for the Skull, do a little nice damage to him. But now with the burn, probably he'll go drop down to about half again. I'm switching back almost at full health again. He withdraws Caesar. At this point he realizes that he can't really touch me with Caesar. Goes into Alec the Mew. Nice a little jab at Mudkip Legend, who did want this. I go for the Scald on Mew. Mew seems to be very specially bulky, at least in this set. So at this point I wasn't really thinking, I just kept I was scalding, and then I remembered that what Mew's ability was, because for whatever reason, I guess just by looking at it, I can always assume Mew's ability is Levitate, and Mew's ability is actually Synchronize. So I do get the burn off, and he does synchronize it off to me. So now we're both burned at this point, but burns don't really affect me, and from the looks of it won't affect him either, as he is a specially attacking Mew. So now, ironically, I do have something to deal with this. So I go into to Umbreon. He sets up another Calm Mind. So now I don't know if he will actually leave it, knowing full well I have access to payback. I'm at full health with Umbreon already. He's lowering his HP, but the burn is lowering his HP more. And yeah, as I figured, he withdraws Mew, goes into Uber, the Tyranitar. Sandstream starts up. I go for Foul Play. Does a decent amount of damage. Kind of more than what I expected a T-Tar to do. I mean, Umbreon to do to a T-Tar. He goes for Stone Edge. I go for Wish. So I think at this point I was gonna try to see if I can trick him out a little bit, see who would take the Wish. He withdraws and goes into Crimson the Caesar. And ironically, this probably would have been the best time. I could have probably gone into Tauros to get the Wish recovery. So at this point, essentially Umbreon's back at full health. Seedor takes the burn damage, and Seedor finally goes down. So we're at a 3v2 situation. Back comes out Uber the T-Tar. He goes for Superpower, and luckily Umbreon again is able to live off a hit from T-Tar. I use the Heal Bell to remove the burn off of Gastrodon. Umbreon takes a little damage from the sand. I recover my health back from a little bit back from leftovers. Um, so I go into Gastrodon. He goes for another superpower, putting himself at -2 for both attack and defenses. Sandstorm goes away. So he withdraws, going back into his Mew. So I go for the Earth Power, hoping for a special defense drop. If we don't get it, just recover some HP with the leftovers. As do we. So the burn damage brings him to about half health. That withdraw and go into Umbreon. He goes straight into the Calm Mind, raising his special attack and special defense. Gets a little bit of leftover recovery. And as do we. So he goes for the Scald. I go straight for the Wish. So now at this point, he's revealed already. What is it? He revealed Scald, and then I know he revealed another move. Well, Scald, Calm Mind. So I go into Gastrodon because I'm assuming he has a Psychic move and he can't hit me, and he triggers my Storm Drain, raising my special attack. And Umbreon's heal does come through. And he takes a little bit more damage from the bird. He goes for the Roost, so I guess we're gonna have another scenario just like we have with Caesar. And he recovers himself to just about beyond half health. So I begin to stockpile. That I'm already at +1 in my special attack, so why not start raising up the defenses? So he's revealed Skull, so if he has another attacking move, it won't be something that... It have to be something that Gastro can actually get hit by. Sets up another Calm Mind. I believe at this point he's at +2 special attacks and special defense. I go for the Earth Power, like I said before. I'm trying to see if I can get that special defense drop. We still don't get it. Still getting hit by the burn. About a half health. And I'm assuming he's going to reveal whatever the other move is. Hope or probably heal himself. So I go into Mill the Third. Intimidate drop just in case he does have a physical attack. He goes for the Calm Mind. And you see Mill the Third is kind of groggy after taking down 2 legends. Go for the Earthquake. Just not enough to kill him. He goes for the Roost. Then again, he gets a recovery from leftovers, deduct down from burn. Go for the Earthquake again. It was a crit, but it wasn't enough. Mill the Third goes down, not being able to take down the last legend that was available. And now we're at a 2v2 situation. And Mew's almost dead. None of my 2 things will actually be able to be fast enough to hit it before he does Roost, however. He goes for the Psychic. You go for the Skull. Still not enough to kill it. And and Burn probably leaving him at just 1 HP right now. So I go into Umbreon, hoping that he goes for Psychic again. He goes for Roost. And at this point we pretty much just have one guess, since both Pokemon are pretty much low on HP, as to which of the two moves he's actually going to go for, depending on which mana I decide to stay in. So I'm guessing he's going to go for the what is it? I figured he was going to go for Psychic, so I stood in. He instead went for the Scald. Umbreon goes down, which means guaranteed this turn now. Gastro will go down, considering he has no reason now to hit Scald. Grass jumps out, and there it is, the Psychic, and since he's at +2, I believe, enough, Gastro goes down. And as the announcer always says, and there goes the battle! It was a good match. It was just very longer than I expected it to actually go through. Dealing with both Mew and Caesar, who burn and roosting every 5 seconds, and not having anything to actually outspeed to kill them was probably the biggest reason for the loss there. We never actually really got to do anything to T-Tar, but given the amount of damage Umbreon was just doing alone, and then probably any Scald or Earth Power from Gastro probably would have been able to take it down if we would have been able to knock Mew off. But still, nonetheless, it was a good match. Next week, we'll be fighting what's his name again? Zigzag and the Misagua Menses in week 8 of the PFA. So we get a little revenge match coming in from our loss 2 weeks ago, where it was a 1-0. So we'll see if we'll be able to get our revenge then. So until next time, thanks for watching, guys.